So those of you in the room, if you would like to come share your thoughts up front, you may, or Michael, if anyone online.
I don't have any comments yet, but hopefully we'll have someone type something in here shortly. We have a speaker coming to the podium right now.
Good evening. And make sure you stay close to the microphone and speak into it. Yeah.
Once again, hi, so Damon, Barone, Alief ISD, parent, taxpayer, and alumnus. I think what I want for our students is to have leadership or individuals that's in charge of making decisions and understand our community. I was 3 minutes late yesterday when I walked in the room because traffic was bad. I have the privilege of having a vehicle. That was why I shared yesterday that 85% of our community is socially economically disadvantaged. So it's 4 miles from the admin building to here. It takes at least 2 or 3 public buses to get here, well over an hour. So I was expressing that concern because when I walked in, the very first thing that I heard when I set up was, we're going to try to get you out of here because we know tonight is a school night and we know we want to get y'all to supper. Well, I didn't travel all the way over here for this hour meeting for you to be worried about what time I eat lunch. I've already made that sacrifice. So I need us to focus on our educating our kids. And if I'm sacrificing the time to come, I need you to give me the time and my tax money's worth when I come here and try to express my concerns and make a difference in our community. So that's what I need for our kids. If you were concerned about our hunger, then you could have brought us some snacks to hold us over. I can see that. The very last thing on that point is you let us out 13 minutes early, and I was disappointed about that. Again, focusing on our community that's coming here in public transportation. When I walked outside those doors after talking to one of the administrators as well as one of the police officers, there was a gentleman walking up that had just got off the work on a bus. So he had traveled up here. He wasn't able to get his voice heard. He was a welder, and he said he was a commercial welder. Why he walked up to me and had a conversation with me, I have no idea. But that just went to prove my point in regards to not focusing on the community in which you serve when you're trying to make decisions or include us in those decision-making processes. Thank you.
Thank you. I'd like to welcome our new, so I have, the next question is, what are some current celebrations in Alief ISD? Like, what are some strengths that you really want to make sure that a superintendent candidate for your district knows about your district that is something that you highly value?
Greetings, Damon, Barone, Alief ISD, parent, taxpayer, and alumnus. I want to apologize. I didn't give a recommendation for a solution to the concern that I expressed. So my recommendation, the gentleman yesterday talked about he likes sports. So this is for him in sports analogy. In any sports game that you do, you watch film on your opponent, right? You're not just concerned about how you practice, you're concerned about how they practice. So my recommendation for you all and anybody in the district is leave your vehicle here. Have someone in the district or call me out, come and pick you up and drop you off. We got 46 schools in the district. Catch a school bus back to your vehicle and try to make this meeting or set up for this meeting and see how difficult it is. So don't just take my word for it. Leave your vehicle here, go to any one of the 46 schools in our district, you can pick the closest one or the furthest one, and watch the challenges it is for our community to get on public transportation. Don't take our word for it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us.
Greetings, Damon, Barone, Alief ISD, parent, taxpayer, and alumnus. One of the challenges I think that a candidate would have to face, I know from me personally, when Superintendent Chambers first came to our district in 2010, he had several community-based committees, which I was sought after and served on proudly and did so for 3 years. The committee meetings were video recorded and audio recorded, so the public can do over records requests for those meetings in regards to the statements that I'm going to make. After 3 years of serving on those committees, community member Tiffany Thomas went on to become Alief ISD School Board Trustee number 7. Subsequently, Ms. Thomas became Houston City Councilwoman Tiffany Thomas in District F. Community member Natasha Butler served on those committees with me for 3 years as well, and went on to become Alief ISD School Board Trustee number 7. Damon, Barone, myself, after sitting on three years of those committees, went on to become an Alief ISD 3rd grade teacher for the district. During one of those initial meetings, with all 3 of us attending together, involved in community, because we were involved in community involvement here, newly hired Superintendent H.E. Chambers said to a packed room that he, and this is the reason I stated that the meetings were audio and video recorded. He stated that he and his administrators have the ability to make data say whatever they wanted to say. My concerns after seeing this statement practice and a perfected action for the past 12 years is that the administration who Superintendent Chambers was referring to 12 years ago are still in the district in lieu of his absence. More importantly, the administration that the superintendent and his code-like following have hired, made positions for throughout the district, and have indoctrinated into Superintendent Chambers' ideology of making data say whatever they wanted to say are still in key positions, leadership positions here in Alief ISD in lieu of Superintendent Chambers' absence. My last concern is that 90% of the district's $428 million annual budget goes to salaries. That means that we're top-heavy. $8.56 million alone goes to the salaries of 28 administrators who work in the administration building. That's 340. Alief ISD gave teachers a 4% midpoint raise before this school year started. The subsequent month after, they increased their insurance premiums. So a teacher, Superintendent Chambers makes $380,000, almost $381,000. His 4%, he got $15,000. A teacher making $60,000 got $2,400. So my concern is that because we're top heavy and $8.5 million of our budget goes to 28 administrators in the administration building, yet when we talk about budget, the young lady came up here earlier and said we were $18 million in the hole. When the district or the superintendent talks about cutting things, he talks about cutting our programs for our students. He talks about cutting our teachers. He talks about cutting our bus drivers, custodians, and maintenance workers, but never once talks about cutting the top-heavy administration. Now, I don't know, I have to contend in the district that if all of the administration called in tomorrow, our kids would still have a good education and arrive to school and have lunches and have a perfect day of education. However, if our teachers all call in tomorrow, we'll need a waiver because we're below 10% of our annual attendance. So I say that to say that this district needs to start taking care of our teachers and stop focusing on our top-heavy administrators. And in my humble opinion, they can start at the administration building with the 28 people making $8.56 million and stop cutting our student programs and teacher services.
Thank you. And thank you for those of us who have just joined us.
Greetings, Damon, Barone, Alief ISD parent, taxpayer, and alumnus. I personally would like to see one of the attributes is that our new superintendent has at least a doctoral degree. It concerns me to have a superintendent, H.D. Chambers, sitting on our board making $350,000 with a master's degree, and everybody around him supporting him, including classroom teachers, has a doctoral degree. So I feel if you're going to be the leadership of education, then you need to model someone who is seeking higher education and has obtained higher education. In regards to the individuals that's online, I spoke yesterday and told the gentleman that, again, our community is 85% socially economically disadvantaged. We went back to school on Monday. They don't have hot spots for our children because they allegedly are upgraded to Blvd, and they took the computers back last year. So during the August 24th, 2021 school board meeting, the Director of Risk Management, when discussing COVID reporting, stated at that meeting that our community members, that our community, the people in which y'all serve and are serving, don't like technology and or don't have technology. So those individuals that you're wanting to actually get the information back from, if they don't have the ability to use technology to report something as serious as COVID-19 or not comfortable using technology, they're not online right now. We need to do alternative measures to reach those individuals. Unfortunately, this district does a great job of serving the 15% that's not socially economically disadvantaged. So I think we need to have a superintendent that is a humanitarian and not a politician, and that cares more about the 85% than the 15%, because this district gets more money for those socially economically disadvantaged students and those special ed kids, but you're not serving them for the money that you're getting. So we're top heavy based off the finances that's given to us for the socially economically disadvantaged, but you're not serving the needs, so you're taking our money. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. I want to make sure that all voices are heard in this process tonight.
Gentleman's walking up, I'd just like to share the information. If you go online, there is a calendar posted for the community. You can see when the next town hall meeting is. You can look at the timeline associated with the search. The district will continue to populate that information as information becomes available. So please, if you have access to the internet, please check out the district's website. Obviously, call the communications department as well, and I'm sure they would make the same information available if you don't have access. Thank you.
Thanks, Sue.
Yes, sir.
Greetings, Damon. We're on Alief ISD parent, taxpayer, and alumnus. In regards to your question, do we have any questions for you all? Now, given the information that I've shared in regards to the makeup of our community and our challenges, what, if any, changes do you all plan on making to reach out to our community, get more individuals activated and able to have their voices heard in something as serious as a superintendent search? My recommendation would be to possibly host some of these meetings online on the weekend at 6 or 7 o'clock. We don't have school in, but some of us, working 2 or 3 jobs or whatever, have different availability at that time. I say that because when the district was trying to do a bond election, they were duct taping notes to our kids' foreheads, there was sticky notes on our cars, they were going door to door, beating them on. So the district knows how to be innovative when they want to, or address the 85% in our challenges when they want to get things done. But unfortunately, when it's time to get our voices heard, constraints are put upon us. So I just like to know what y'all plan on, if anything, doing different now that you have this information.
So we serve at the will of your board. So we can give the feedback that is received on process.
Greetings, Damon. We're on Alief ISD parent, taxpayer, and alumnus. I've heard several times over the past 2 days talk about 2 things, the online and then the surveys. I've already talked about the online issue, so let's just be transparent and candid. The reason why I share that information about the district being able to make data say whatever it wants is, quite honestly, you're going to have to overcome the challenge of people had 12 years of having data manipulated. We don't trust the survey. We've been turning the surveys as an employee, as a parent, as a community member, and we've watched no changes we've done, or you pick and choose what information you got out of it, and you show us what you want to have. That's why I referenced that. What I said was audio and video recorded. Don't take my word for it. Do an open records request for the meeting. That's why I talked about the council member, Tiffany Thomas, ex-school board member, Tiffany Thomas, and ex-school board member, Natasha Butler. Don't take Damon Barone's word for it. Call them and ask them. Request the documents yourself. Request the video yourself. You have to overcome all that. We don't trust those surveys. We don't trust the leadership. We don't trust the individuals that's going to make these decisions. And in order to gain our trust back, we got to see some action in practice. It's like a bad relationship, right? You don't just abuse somebody and then come back and apologize and then they're not worried about you coming back and abusing them again. The abuse is still going on outside of the superintendent being here, and that's our concern.
Sue, quick comment regarding that. Our firm is working that your information will not be filtered. It's going to your school board. It's not going to the administration. So hopefully you can separate those two, knowing that we're here to serve the board, not the administration.
Absolutely. Thank you. I want to reply to that comment. Damon Barone, Alief ISD parent, taxpayer, and alumnus. One, are these videos going to go up on the district's website as well, on the board meeting videos where all the other board meetings are at, or other meetings are posted? That's my number 1 question. And then next, in regards to your statement with the board, and I'll say that with them in the room, and I'm sure some are watching, they're part of the problem as well. We've been having a superintendent that has been running the school board and running the school district at the same time. So I'm quite concerned about the direction of our board and our superintendent, because the school board hadn't had to run the school board in 12 years since HD has been here. Now they're in a pickle where they got to learn how to be school board members, and they got to gain our trust in our community. So I'm saying on the record and to their face, I don't trust the school board. So I'm concerned about them making those decisions and making data say what they wanted to say. Thank you.
We will make the request that the videos be posted online.
And how well it was articulated. The kids are lucky.
Now that's a rough act to follow. You sure you want to go up there?
Absolutely. I'm an Alief alumnus as well, so I'm never scared. Damon, Barone, Alief ISD alumnus, taxpayer, and parent. I too was in speech and debate and theater kid. My son was 2019 president of theater, and when they went to Nebraska and won that award, he was the president as well. So his name is Damon Barone, since we're talking about theater and advocating for our community. So I do have a lot of concern about the district, but at the end of the day, I'm in the ship that I'm concerned about. I'm not talking stuff and moving out of the district. I've been here since the 80s. Like I said, I've been here since I was 8 years old. So yeah, I got a lot of concerns. But my family works in the district, my children are in the district, I work in the district, I pay taxes here, I show up at the meetings when nobody else shows up. So I feel as though the very least that I could have is a superintendent that's willing to listen to my voice, whether they agree with me or not, whether I agree with them or not, I'm still active and involved. I said when Superintendent Chambers first got here, I was on his committees for 3 years and became an educator in this community. But now somehow the same thing that made me sought after to be on those committees, same thing that made me sought after to be an educator in our community makes me public enemy #1, right? Because you're falsifying data, and I know it, and I'm concerned about it, but I still want our children to do good. I still have my kids in speech and debate and theater. I'm still actively involved. I'm still concerned about the direction of it. So we gotta stop marginalizing community members that have concerns and address those concerns. If they're still in our community, my 2 children being in this school district is paying for these salaries. My 2 children being in this community is paying for this building that we're standing in. My tax money is paying for it. So the very least I can do is have my voice heard and not my voice silenced. Thank you.
Checking in, we've got a comment from someone.
I went in, I thought y'all appreciate you not coming to the mic. Greetings, Damon, Barone, Alief ISD, parent, taxpayer, and alumnus. This is my last one. My concern or my question is, can you tell me or tell us how many people participated online yesterday or how many people participated online today? And are you capturing that data to see how fruitful it is?
I don't know how many people are online. I know the district's monitoring all of the activity, and yes, they